sharing or inviting people. Invite, you can just click the invite button, or should I say, there's no button, invite icon, and you'll be able to invite other people as well to join you. So please, thank you very much for sharing and inviting people. I appreciate it. So today, again, let me go through let me just go through some of the points of Dr. Sunday's teaching yesterday, which was quite interesting. And the teaching was about knowing and understanding God through love. Again, to me, this whole series about love, it was so unexpected for me, because I think that I thought I love, and I thought, love for me is also more receiving than, I know it should be given. But when Dr. Sunday plates it down and I start analyzing it, I realized that I was doing more of receiving or expecting rather than even receiving, because I don't think many of us know how to actually give love correctly, but expecting people to give me love rather than me practicing love by knowing how to give love and knowing what love is and what love is not. So just like the Truth series, this is becoming one of the series that is quite maybe a little bit heartbreaking, but difficult also for me to swallow. And this one is knowing and understanding God through love. And Dr. Sunday just started, so it's going to go on for a while. So you're free to join us. That's 9 p.m. Ukraine time every single day. Dr. Sunday would do this, and it would go on for at least maybe a month, if not 2 or 3 months, because we have a lot to learn as it transpires every single day. So yesterday's teaching, the title, so the series title is Knowing and Understanding God Through Love, and the title for yesterday's one was What Love Is Not. What love is not. So when I saw that title, I was thinking, okay, it's just going to say love is not hate, love is not this, just a typical thing that I usually hear in church, but not practiced. But Dr. Sunday put it in total practice, make it visible for me exactly what love is not. And I don't know if you were watching yesterday, if you felt the same way. I saw exactly what love is not. And as usual, I first look at everything from my point of view, from the point of view of, what am I doing in this, with this teaching? What am I doing as a person? What is my role here in this teaching? That's where I always come from. And then I look at the role of others. Usually my selfish person used to look at the role of others to me, but I have learned to now look at the role of myself, I as a person, to the teaching. And I did, and I thought, okay, what love is not? Do I demonstrate these things? So he started with love not being rude, not being abrasive, not seeking its own, for what is in Corinthians 13:5. So I knew all that. I've heard all of those things before, but it didn't really resonate with me this way. And then I said, okay, fine. I know what love is not. But then I have to also look at the root cause. As a Christian, as somebody that knows that God is love, how did I become somebody that don't even know what love is not? And I actually demonstrate what love is not and claim to be a Christian. Then when I started looking at root cause, what I looked at is where is my environment? And my environment was my biggest environment, and where I spend most of my time, apart from my home and work, is church. So it's in religion. It was all buried in religion, and religion is what actually taught a lot of these values that we should know in society generally. It's usually religion or government that teaches us things. But in my case, I attribute my own root cause to religion, and that's church, and that's the denomination that I went, the church that I attended, the Christianity that I was presented by the people that I love and the people that I respect as well. And I still do. I still love and I respect them. But maybe they don't know better, maybe they do know better. But at this point, at this very junction, it's time that we start taking responsibility for ourselves. So I start taking responsibility for myself, and the onus is on me, and to share with other people some of the things that I have discovered, and maybe we all need to consider as well as individual, and what we are doing and what we think love is. So I'm going to show you this video. The video is quite heartbreaking, but one of the examples of what love is not, because I want to keep this to an hour. I don't want it to go over an hour. So please, guys, share this with as many people as possible. I know it's today, Saturday, and a lot of people will be out shopping right now, but they can still listen while they are shopping, you know, especially if you're in the West. I know that I used to be on the road and I have my earpiece on and still listen to Dr. Sunday when I was in England. I know not everybody is in England, but wherever you are, internet is pretty available most places other than Africa. So I'm not ignorant of the fact that in Africa, internet is a big deal and moving around with network is an issue. But I'll still like if everybody will share this, please do so. I appreciate you for doing so. So let me show the first video that I'm going to see here. So this is just going to the first. Love is not rude. Love is not abrasive. Love is not self-seeking. And I made some notes yesterday, and I will share some of those notes as well that I made, and then we will go from there. I really want to hear your opinion, your comments as well about this. You know, how your church, pastors, GO, bishop, prophets, anyone that is you look up to in terms of religion or you look up to in faith. I personally, I think that they have actually blocked us from knowing God, because they have presented the wrong God to us. We've been scammed, basically. We've been conned, and we need to know the truth. I'm not quite sure if they know the truth themselves, but in any case, we have been conned. Okay, so we are not just victims. I think they are also victims. Both us and them, we are victims, because if we know better and we do the right thing, we will reap the benefit of doing the right things. But if we continue the way that we are, we'll continue to reap the benefit of what we are reaping now, which is not good. Look at Nigeria, the most populous African country, with half of the population being religious, Christians, and the rest of them also being Muslim or other religion, and still look at what's happening there. That's not God. That is not the fruit of God, and that's not from God. There's something fundamentally wrong, and if we don't start to address this now, then we would continue to live and languish in this kind of non-truth. And one of the days that Dr. Sunday was teaching, swimming against the tide, and I think that's what we're doing at the moment. We're swimming against the tide or against the current of the water, and that is not our nature. So if we don't understand this series on love, then we might have challenges. So I want to show you an example of what love is not, and these are the people that we follow. These are the people that claim to know God. So they are scammers. They don't know God, because evidently this is not God. This is not love, because if it's not love, it is not God. If it's love, then it is God. So does this show us love, or does it show us otherwise? So that's what we need to assess here and now. Okay, this is the first video. I'm going to play it now. So to do that, I'm going to turn the camera now. Thank you all for joining. Okay. okay, guys, I showed it for longer than necessary, really. It's just so that you can just see what's going on there, because I think sometimes when we have a flash of something, as quick as it goes, then we forget about it, because we want to see the best in ourselves and the things that we do. We want to see the best in the people that we love, the people that we pay reverence to, the people that we admire, or the people that we've honored, or, you know, authority in our life. And these people, the charlatans, preachers, religious leaders that have been charlatans, so-called fathers of faith, or even the children that came after them, this is ridiculous. So the question here is that, do they communicate love to in their actions? So this is probably a deliverance session, I don't know, or something in church. You can see there are lots of people in the congregation, and there's one man just hitting them on the head like this. First of all, where in anywhere in the Bible, where did we see this, that Jesus did this? Where Jesus was conducting deliverance and he has to hit people in the head like this? There's something significantly wrong. Not only on the perpetrator's side, the pastor or the bishop or the GO or whatever he is, right? But on our side, because there are more people on the side who are seeing this, experiencing this, and still believing that there is God here, or this resembles God. So yesterday, Dr. Sunday was saying, you know, when he was showing one of the videos, that all of the videos, in fact, so he gave the example where, you know, when you show love, when you show respect, when you honor people, when you seek, you don't just seek your own, you seek for other people, that you don't only know God, as in you express knowing God for yourself, expressing how God feels and feeling God, but the people around you that are watching you as well, they are also feeling God and knowing God with your actions. They are feeling and knowing God. So my question here is that when we see the pastors doing something like this that you've just seen in the video, for me, it doesn't help me to love God at all. It doesn't express love to me. And I don't want to know God, because that action inflicts pain on me. It shows me, it gives me, it puts fear in me. It puts, you know, even shame. You know, I'm embarrassed. I can't do anything. He subdues me, where one man is coming and hitting me like that. So I know for sure that I am not going to be able to relate with God, because every time I relate with God, this is what I was presented to. So I was presented a scam type of God, the God that is not true. This is not a true God. And, you know, another thing as well, based on the last program, which was Ask, that I was listening to, and Christians were fond of that, because I will show you the reasons. I understand the reason. Hello, Aisha, welcome. Thank you for joining. So I was really thinking about what the person was asking. There was a question that, how can the person be delivered from ancestors, kind of demon, or something from their father's house, something along that line. And we so-called Christian and Pentecostal, we're fond of that. We're fond of that because we're presented by our pastors, by our GOs, that we have enemies. God, we need to still ask God for deliverance. And I used to, many years ago, ask this question, that if I'm already in Christ, I'm already in church, I'm attending, and I'm of God, why is it that I am still praying against devil and still afraid of the devil and still calling God and telling God to save me from the devil? It never made sense to me. But now it's even more obvious that it didn't make sense. And the God that I was presented was for the favor of the pastors, is for them, is self-seeking. So they're seeking me to attend church. They are seeking me to come to fill up the chairs in the church. They're seeking me and you to come and be a congregation, not for you to know God for yourself and be free. They're seeking you to see them as an authority that you have to come through before you go to God. And it's becoming clearer and clearer now, because everything that they do is never about me, or is never about, it doesn't have to be about me, but it was never about love or showing love. And one example is what you've seen here. And I'm sure that anyone that goes to charismatic churches, you would have experienced this one point of the time at a time. If it's not your own personal pastor that does it, he would invite pastors from different parts of the world that will come and say they want to deliver, or they want to show you some power or something that God never showed you. But when the guest pastor comes, or when they have special services, that's when God shows you. Again, that's another way of actually blocking you from God, because if you think about it, you think, what kind of God is this? When I need something, you're not coming. But when some guy comes, you give it to him and he comes and bring miracle. You never trust God. You never have a real true relationship with that kind of God that was presented to us. But that's not the Bible God. Unfortunately, we've all been scammed. So I'm going to show you another video, but before I do so, I want to see your comments, so I can read out your comments and know what you guys are thinking as well. So thank you very much. Please put your comments in the comment section. Let me read them out. I'd love to hear from you. Abosede says, so true. It's high time we develop a personal relationship with God, not what my pastors say, but undiluted word of God, which is the Bible. Thank you very much. Excellent. Well done, Abosede. Thank you. Hello, Dawn. Thank you for joining. So we have Kende says here, the humane treatment we are subjected to when we lust after miracles. Lord, have mercy. I know love here, of course. Thank you. So we can see that from the actions that you're seeing, that pastor is feeling superior. He's hitting everybody on the head. You know, I don't know what that is supposed to be impacting them. So, you know, now my understanding of God now and the relationship with God is that even by one person coming to hit me on the head and saying that he's impacting me, he's already telling me that God failed to do something for me. And until he comes and I come to do some sort of rituals of coming to church or listening to him or accepting what he's saying or coming to these deliverance sessions, then God is not going to do that for me. You know, so as soon as I hear that, you know, you think about it as a relationship with individuals. If you know that somebody is not going to do something for you unless you do a certain thing and it's very much on condition, how do you feel about that person? If you're desperate, you take what you want to take and then you go. But in terms of developing a true relationship with that person, you can't. And it's the same thing with God. The God that they present to us and the way they present God to us is exactly how they're blocking us. Their presentation is blocking us from really knowing God. By saying that they are more superior or they have some sort of power or authority and we have to do certain things that they tell us which are not true. And if we don't do it, this is what's going to happen to us. That's exactly blocking God. It doesn't demonstrate love and it doesn't demonstrate God. I will show you other videos, but this one I want to show you because this actually goes on the point of, you know, if you're born again or if you're not born again, forget born again. If you're truly in Christ and Christ is in you, why then do you still need to pray like this? Why then do you need to attend this type of activities? You know, why is your pastor still saying after you come to church, you have accepted God, or even if you don't come to church, but you've accepted God, God is inside of you. Why is it that this type of prayer points is still valid in your life? You have to ask that question, because if you don't ask that question, then it's like you're accepting whatever anyone says to you about God. So what's the point of me accepting God and yet I still have to go through this type of prayer point? You know, I thought all things are gone and I am in Christ now and I don't need to worry about that. So why are they still selling this? You need to ask them as well, and ask yourself, why am I engaging in this? So this is another video.
That I will fire tonight shall bring me testimonies. Can I hear you shouting out? Your voice is not loud enough. Your voice is still not loud enough. In the name of Jesus. Every prayer arrow that will fire tonight shall bring me testimonies. In the name of Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. In Jesus' name we pray. Father, we thank you for tonight. Thank you because you have told us
Adúpẹ́ nítorí ẹ ti wí fún wa pé
that in the warfare of tonight,
nínú ogun jíjà tàṣálẹ́ yìí,
some long-term warfare shall exist no more.
àwọn ogun ọlọ́dún pípẹ́ yóò
Accept
ṣàtúntà.
our thanks in the name of Jesus.
Ọpẹ́ wa lórúkọ Jésù.
Father, lay your hands upon us tonight.
Bàbá ẹgbẹ́ àwọn ilé wa láṣálẹ́ yìí.
In Jesus' mighty name we pray.
Lórúkọ ńlá Jésù Kristi la gbàdúrà.
Before you sit down, I'd like you to prophesy into the life of 7 persons.
Kò tó jókòó, mo fẹ́ kó sọ tẹ́lẹ̀ sí ayé ẹni méje.
Say, my friend,
Pé ọ̀rẹ́ mi,
the finger of God
ìka Ọlọ́run
shall arise
yóò dìde.
and rewrite your family history.
Yóò sì tún ìtàn ẹbí rẹ kọ.
In the name of Jesus. Say it to 7 persons.
Níbẹ̀ fún ẹni méje.
Thank you, Jesus.
Ìṣeun Jésù.
Okay, sometimes when you see this type of video or you're in church and the pastor is saying this, that the finger of God shall rewrite your family history. You know, my immediate assumption is that they are saying that God did not write your family history well. This is just as simple as that. Why would God rewrite your family history? What is wrong with your family history? And that for me is also blocking my relationship with God. It's blocking me from knowing God and the true nature of God. God have created me. Yes, there are things that I need to do for myself to make things better. But if I believe that because he created me, he wrote my family history. So why do I have to go back to him to also be praying and praying this kind of, it's just ridiculous prayer to say that it will rewrite my family history. Why? Why do I need to do that with God? It's like saying that my parents gave birth to me and then I am born already. And then I would say, I'm praying back to the parents to go back into my parents' womb to re-raise me, to rebirth me, and then re-raise me as well. You know, it just doesn't make sense. And this is what they engage us in. You know, so you're standing up and you're saying this to 7 people before you sit down. What is the last few minutes of this whole video of this church? It's just a waste of time. They're just wasting your time, and he's wasting his time as well. I actually empathize with also this Olukoya. I don't know what happened to him or what is wrong with him, but there's something fundamental here. How can we continue to engage in this and have a true, loving, trusting relationship with God, knowing God and understanding God? Do you understand somebody that you have to go to say that you have to rewrite something for me? Because by saying that they have to rewrite it, it means that the person did not do it well. So we are also saying, challenging God to say that you didn't do a good job, so you have to go and rewrite my family history. So, and then why am I even going back to the history? You know, I don't know if this is an English issue, but when I also understand Yoruba and I listen to it in Yoruba, it is the same thing that they translated into English. So what is this that you're rewriting? So you're not even going to look into your future, you're looking back and to rewrite the history, something that is gone. So I just want us to be aware. This is not a personal attack on this individual because clearly they need help too. But just be aware that this is just a stealing of your time, stealing of your talent, stealing of your resources, stealing of the love and the relationship that you should have with God. This whole prayer is self-seeking and it is not even right. It is not it's not right in any way, in any angle that you look at it. It's about saying that God didn't do what he's supposed to do, and he has to rewrite, he has to go back and rewrite your history. You know, and look how many people are there. So God is going to go and rewrite their history because He didn't do such a good job. They are blocking us. They are preventing us from knowing God and showing God's love. Rather than us showing love and being in our true nature, they are blocking that process from happening. So let me read your comments. This video is not necessary. There are other videos. I keep saying it's not necessary, but maybe it is actually necessary. But there are other videos that I would like to show so that you can see what is happening. And I'm going to show you some of the videos, as many videos as I can in this few minutes that is remaining. So we have, let me read your comments because I really like it when you write your comments. We have all been victims as part of the ignorance which is imparted on us, Yes. Thank you very much, Shalom. Yeah, that's true. We have been victim, but enough of the victim card. It's time that we now start consciously taking responsibility for ourselves and knowing God for ourselves without having to listen to these people that clearly don't present the right God that we should. I don't blame the pastors because followers have made the pastors to be one show. Yes, Joe Fierce has got a point, but it's because, you know, we trust. It's just about trusting the wrong people, I think. This has been, but now we know better. Don says, honestly, Mayowa, we treated this topic last night at the Bible study and it took over 2 hours for some people to accept it. Whoa, Don. So in your Bible study group, you treated this topic. That's interesting. So it took a while for people to accept it. It's not an easy thing because if you've been going to church for at least 30 years or no, not at least, even if you've been going for the last 2 years and you've been doing this regularly and believing that this is what you should do, then definitely you can't just overnight come to people and say this is not what you should do. But if you're a thinker and you think about it, then you will know that yes, this is definitely not the right God that was presented to you, because that is what we have been fed, yes, with for years, and it is very wrong. Thank you very much, Don, for pointing that out again. Alice says, I was also a victim of this madness. Thank God I was stopped. Well done, Alice. Good job that you actually have truth in your heart to know the truth and set yourself free. Jane says, the cabals have presented an abstract God rather than a God who is real and alive in us. Lord, have mercy. Thank you for that. Then we have here, Kende says, it's a challenge, Mayowa, because the people who really need to hear this message and be delivered are stuck. Oh my God, are stuck inside prayer and deliverance service. I have no time to watch live transforming programs. Oh, unfortunately, but you know what? It's not too late for them. These videos are available on Dr. Sunday's channel on YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official. They can go at any time. And also they have you. They have you and I to also tell them. They have you and I to live our life in the way that we should, in the right current, in the right tide, in the right direction, in our true nature. And when they start seeing us, right, they might be blind every time, right? But one day their eyes would open when they start seeing us living our life with liberation, with freedom, with love, with expression of love. They would come to you. They will say to you that, excuse me, what's going on? Are you doing something that I don't know? Do you have a different God? You know, what's going on in your life? Well, you know, tell me a little bit more about yourself. They will start following you and then they will want to know more. And by then you would also be ready. So it's never too late. Okay. I understand that people are too busy right now, but the God that actually opened our eyes still exists. So he's going to open their eyes as well. And I really, really have hope for the whole world, not just for a few people. I have hope for everybody to see the truth. So thank you very much, Kende. You have made a very good point. Femi says that just sickening and kind of crazy to the limits who and what God is, to limiting who and what God is, too abstract to be real, too illogical to be biblical. Thank you, Femi, for that point. That's what they presented to us. But it's all a lie, okay? You don't need to go through them and you don't need to believe what they say. You just need to experience the love of God. If you know nothing about God, just look at Jesus' example on earth. And that's enough that you need to know. And just follow his way. Follow what he did. Follow how he was. And that should be enough for us. Love and truth is all we need. Jane says, attending some of these churches can be very tiring and stressful, and that is the reason why people can't experience the love of God. Of course, they tire you out. You know, after praying one prayer, did you see what happened there in MFM? After praying one prayer, the people want to sit down. Then he said, oh, say it to 7 people. Those things are even nonsense. Say to 7 people that God will rewrite the history of their family. You know, they're tiring you out. They're constantly coming up with gimmicks, with things to just suspend your mind. You know, and you're there, you're thinking, okay, if I just sit down and don't tell people this, I'm going to look like a bad person. I know you've attended churches where, you know, you're not speaking, shouting as loud as possible and being aggravated and running everywhere when they're praying. They'll start saying, suspect your neighbors, suspect your neighbors. I have been to those type of churches in the West. You know, and, you know, sometimes I say, I don't have time for this. I'm just going to sit down. But I still participated. They still stole my time as well. So we all need to be aware. We need to be aware and take responsibility for ourselves and for other people, you know, that are around us, that they can't see this. But by telling them, you know, sometimes when people tell me something, I don't even agree immediately. I might argue it, or I might think that, you know, this is not what I want to hear right now. But tell me anyway, because when I go in my quiet time, or when I'm, you know, after the whole thing is done and dusted, something, which is God, because God is in me. I cannot deny myself of that. I cannot deny you also of that. He created you in his image, so he's in you. I cannot deny even these charlatans that God is not in them. God is in all of us. So at that point where I am alone, something says to me that, you know, this person is right. Think about what this person is saying. Think about it clearly. Even at that point, I might not want to accept, but something will be telling me that, you know, you need to accept this. Because if you don't accept this, you're not going to, it's not beneficial for you. It's not beneficial for the others, and it's not beneficial for the world. And then I'll start thinking, I'll start pondering over that thing. So don't relent, you know, be relentless, where if anybody is saying that you're saying the wrong thing and they don't want to hear you, continue to share this truth. You continue to share liberation. Why? As time goes by, they will realize that, you know, something will minister to them, just like it ministered to me. I don't even accept at that point, but at some point it will minister to me, and I see the truth. And then sometimes I'll go back and say, you're right. Sometimes I don't. I just change my ways and I do things better. So give those people also that benefit of doubt, that just say what you need to say. Don't keep quiet. Okay. Thank you very much. Then we have Don says, Maiwa, I wish I can call and say a few things I understand about this. Don, please feel free to call. You need to go to Move Agents Magic. That's a profile on Facebook Messenger. Okay, that's on Messenger. Type in Move Agents Magic. So Move Agents is one word, MOVEAGENTS, and then space Magic, MADIC. So if you just type that in, then you'll be able to call through Messenger. I'll be waiting for your call, Don. Please feel free to share your thoughts. Femi says, say it, sister, say it. These people are jokers and really making mockery of this great religion. Thank you very much, Femi. Yes, it's a faith that we have. So I absolutely agree with you. They're making a mockery of us, and we should stop it. They're making a mockery of Christ. They're making Christ look wicked, mean, you know, unattentive, somebody that just, you know, churn out a product without even seeing it. You know, even a manufacturer, a good manufacturer, their products, they check it for quality control. If we're looking at them, if you're looking at God, like, okay, he created us, so where is product? If he churns us out without making us good people, without making us creative, without making us smart, without, you know, putting everything that he needs to put in us, that all we have to always do is to go back to the manufacturer and send it back. Imagine buying a product, and every time you have to send it back, you know, this product is supposed to have this too, it didn't have it. That's how they're making God seem right now. You know, like, think of it. We are a product of God. He created us. And, you know, somebody that created us is our manufacturer. He's our what's this called? Who are the people, not entrepreneur. Is our designer, is our everything. So we're having to take these products, us, by going to these churches where they're telling us, do this, do that. Pray that you rewrite your history. Pray that it's like you're sending back us product back to God to say, God, fix it. You didn't do it properly. Does that make sense? It doesn't even make sense. I don't even understand which God these people are coming from. Maybe we need to clarify from them to say that, what God are you talking about? Because this is not the God of the Bible. This is not the God of creations. This is not that God. You cannot not tell me now that God didn't create me well. And I have to keep going back to him to say, you have to go and rewrite my family history. You have to do this. You have to do that. It's ridiculous. It's ludicrous to be inventor. Thank you, Naomi. Thank you very much. That's the word I was looking for, Naomi. You got it. I appreciate you, Naomi. That's it, inventor. So you constantly have to take that product back to the inventor. It's so shameful. When I think about it now, I'm thinking, oh my God, my life, I mean, I've wasted so much time in churches with pastors that don't even know Jack, you know, that are just saying all sorts of things and presenting God to me like God is wicked. No wonder I never loved God. I was thinking, you know, I'm not feeling this God at all. And not until I came to the realization of the true gospel, I know who God is, that I understood that no, they just presented me the wrong God. And that's why there are people that are atheists, they're gullible, people that don't understand who God is, because the presentation that was given to us is the wrong type of God. We have a caller. Let's listen. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, Don.
Hello, Don. Thank you for calling.
Hi.
Hi.
This is Don. I was going to say a few things about this thing. Like I said, last night we had a Bible study about this thing, and some weeks ago I had a lot of lengthy discussion.
There's a noise in the background, John. There's a noise.
Pardon me?
There's a in the background.
Oh, wow. Okay. I said some weeks ago I had a lengthy discussion about this. I told you that if Bible says when you get born again, you're transferred from the old self to the new person.
Yes.
So which family are they actually referring to? Is it the family that you assuming they have something in your biological family? When you get born again, God delivers you, and it's your totality. He doesn't deliver some and leave some.
Exactly.
Most times it is our mindset, and then these pastors make us believe that God's work was not complete. Jesus' work of redemption is complete. It is total. He doesn't deliver you from sin and leave you with curses, and leave you with ancestral whatever.
Brilliant.
Now, people say, okay, why do we suffer this thing? Let us see. It is based on your ignorance. Devil, it presents this and suggests this thing to you. It is there for you to either believe, yes, I am still here, or I've moved to a different spot.
Yes.
So when you don't know where you stand, you accept this thing. But if you know where you stand and you have the knowledge of who God is or what Christ has done for you, you know that this thing doesn't have any power over you again. Then you can stand and say no, and no is no.
Yes. Yes.
But because we don't, feed ourselves, we don't believe, and the people we believe we trust to help us are giving us the wrong information. It's like we are all, running in circles. Now, as last night we talked about the deliverance. I tell you, salvation is comes with three things: deliverance, health, and prosperity. Prosperity, in the sense, is not just about money, right? It's about being content in what God has done for you. Now, but we believe that, yes, a lot of people say after getting born again, you need to go and to cast out the devil. Which devil again?
Thank you.
It is because of your mindset. Bible says, be thou transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Yes.
When you get born again, it is your spirit that gets born again. Your mind is what will be renewed over time through the word of God and through the knowledge of what Christ has done. But we make it seem like some other person will come and cast out devil again. Where is the devil coming from? You want to tell me that Christ, the work of salvation, is not complete, or he delivered you, he saved you, and left you with the demon? I don't understand.
Thank you very much, Don. Thank you for your point. You made really valid point. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Amen. Wow, that was beautiful. You know, that is really, really good. You know, how can we believe in a God? So this is why I am saying that these charlatans, the GOs, the churches, religion, name it, bishop, who are prophets, all of them, they are blocking you. They are blocking you from knowing God and knowing Him for who He is, love, by telling you you have to come and pray, you have to come and do certain things, you know, you have to pray against ancestral days, you have to pray from your father's home, your mother's home, your this and that. You know, don't just make this point. God, when you came to Christ, He didn't deliver you from some things, and then some things He didn't deliver you from. He delivered you from everything, even before you were born. Remember that. He saved you. Before you were born, He knew you and He loved you. He knows everything about you. You know, and remember the analogy as well with the manufacturer. If any company produce anything that you have to keep layer, you have to, in order to call, you have to go to Move Agents Matic. Move Agents Matic. And that's on Facebook Messenger. Move Agents Matic. One word, Move Agents, and then Matic with space, and then MADIC. On Facebook Messenger. So remember, if you're in any country, it doesn't matter where you are. If you buy a product and that product does not serve what it's supposed to do, and you know that it's supposed to do certain things and you're not able to do those things, then you know that those manufacturers are scammers. So how can you love God if you believe that He's a scammer? You know, how can you have a good relationship with Him if you believe that He's a scammer? Because He created you, and there's so many things as well that you're lacking. It's not true. That's what you were just presented. We have a caller. Hello, caller.
Hello, beautiful Mayowa. This is Adeshola.
Hello, Adeshola. Thank you for calling. How are you?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Good.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for taking up this course again. You know, I just put something on the comments. I said we should be consistent and never give up.
Yes.
You know, when you were saying something that maybe some people might not get it, that we should, you know, we shouldn't give up. We should keep telling them.
Yes.
You know, some people might not get it now, maybe later on. Some actually might not get it maybe in the next 5 years.
Yeah, they might not.
Yes. Yes, some people might not get it. They are still fighting. They are, you know, they are in a process. It's a process. It's just like every one of us, including myself, before I could come to this knowledge, it took a while, you know, and that is why it's always called for separation. The only thing I pray for those people is if they can just take a time for themselves and separate themselves from everything that they've learned or everything they've heard before and take it upon themselves and start anew, I think it's going to do them good. But if they choose not, I think that is where the fighting will be. Because as long as they are under the so-called building of a church, they will never get it.
Yeah.
They will keep fighting this thing. And, you know, they will keep fighting this thing that is going on. Because just looking at the video you just showed now, we've seen it over and over on Dr. Sunday's platform. You know, how could you say you love God? How could you say you love God and you are doing such a program all in the name of deliverance that does not even exist, and you are quoting the Old Testament? We are no more under those traditions, you know. And I saw somebody was commenting that what about the prayer of Jezebel? I mean, the prayer of Jabez, and I saw a brother commenting, and that was what I wanted to say too. The Lord taught us how to pray.
Yes. Which one would you choose?
Jesus Christ taught us how to pray. Which other prayer do you want to pray again?
Yes. Yes. Do you want to choose
Jabez? I don't have any answer to that question.
I know.
That is the answer. I don't know if the person is on this platform. You can go and look at how Jesus taught us to pray. So if you see every situation and you cannot channel everything back to what Jesus Christ himself, not Elijah now. You're not going by the prayer of Elijah.
Yes.
You're not going by the prayer of Moses.
Yes.
For God's sake.
Or Jabez.
So let's look at how Jesus Christ walked here on earth, all the things he taught us to do. Are we really doing it as Christians? I think that will solve a lot of questions.
Yes.
But most of these teachers, I don't call them that, they are not teachers. Most of these so-called pastors, charlatans, they don't give us, they are not giving the people the right word. So they just base everything on their own knowledge, on their own wisdom. So they are not really digging deep. into what Jesus Christ has told us to do. And that is why we are having babes all around. You know, like Paul says, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye might grow thereby. Like I always say, when you have a child, like, okay, let me use this example again. You have a seed, you plant a seed. Some seed, it takes time for it to germinate, but during that time, before the seed will germinate, will come to that harvesting stage, you have to nurture that seed. And what you give to that seed is going to determine the product. So when you don't feed that seed very well, the seed is going to die.
Yeah. And
that is what I'm saying. We are seeing a lot of dead Christians all around, and you think you are still a child of God. And looking at, you know, from what Pastor Sunday have taught us, I'm talking about worship. I'm going back to worship again. Our life, everything we do, our lifestyle is a lifestyle of worship. I was talking to somebody this morning, actually my brother in UK. When he saw my broadcast yesterday, he was very, very happy. I said, the truth that we say to ourselves is very, very important. So when you now come to a place of worship, some people are singing in the church, they think they are worshiping. That is not worship. So until you come to a place of total surrender, you surrender everything to Him. It could be anywhere. You don't have to be in that building for you to worship God.
Yes.
You can be singing and you're not worshiping Him. So your lifestyle is a life of worship. So when you now come to a place like that and you're now calling it a deliverance, or you are making some prayer points and you're telling people to hold their head, your head is your destiny, or you're telling them to tell 7 people and all those. I don't know. I don't know where to place it. And that was why I said we should be consistent.
Yes.
We shouldn't give up.
Yes.
Some people might not get it now. Even like somebody was saying that she has lost a lot of friends. I personally have lost a lot of contact. I've lost a lot of friends. And the truth is, if you don't lose friends now, that means you are not doing the right thing. You have to. Brilliant. You have to. And you're not praying that you want to lose them outrightly like that. You pray that even as they are moving away to go and sort out themselves with God. Then later on their eyes will be open.
Yes.
You know, because that is what we desire for everyone. So I just wanted to, you know, quickly comment that every one of us, we are on this platform, we are listening, we shouldn't give up. Yes. And we should continue in this work, and we should be doers of it. That people will see, and they will see the fruit. Because the Bible says, by their fruit, we shall know them. Brilliant. So the fruit that will bear, that will live around, and people see, that is what they can say, yes, these people are truly Christian. Thank you so much.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you, Adeshola. Thank you. Wow, guys, you are on fire. I love all the callers. I love callers anyway, and I love you all. But, you know, I just love their understanding and their resolve, you know, that they have this knowledge now. They know the God, that they right God. They're not worried about losing friends. They're not worried about, you know, people not understanding them. They know because they are at peace. And, you know, they are also ready to continue. And that's brilliant. That's how we should be. You know, we should be like our Father in heaven. We should be like Jesus. We shouldn't be like what these people are presenting to us. If it doesn't look like love, if it doesn't present love to you, then it is not God. If it's against your nature, then it is not God. If it's not something that glorifies God, then it's not from Him. If it's about the self, you know, because yesterday's teaching, again, I will go back. It is about, Dr. Sunday thought about, let me just go back to it quickly, knowing God, what love is not. So when you want to do any measurement, if it doesn't look like love, then you know that it's not God. And the things that God is not, clearly you know that God is not self-seeking. So when these pastors, I'm going to show you one video, when this pastor is removing something from you or taking something from you and saying that it is God, but they're saying that they're giving it to God, but it's going into their pocket, because we know, let's be clear about all these things. Tithes, offering, whatever you do, right? When you give it to a church, or you give it to a man of God, or so-called man of God, or charlatans, or bishop, or whatever, you're not actually giving that to God, okay? What it says in the Bible is that I was sick, you didn't come to see me. I was hungry, you didn't feed me. So if you want to really give it to God, then you need to look for those people that God says I about. And those are the people that you need to give it to, if you have to give it to them, okay? So, and I encourage people to do that. You know, you should do that. Look around you. They're not even just on the street. They are your neighbors as well. They are your friends. There are people that you don't know that you might want to give to in another country. It doesn't have to be in your country. It doesn't have to be in your color. It doesn't have to be. Give to who God wants you to give to. Ask God yourself. Don't go and look for this middleman that are charlatans that are looking for their own self-interest. So the important thing for me yesterday was that you shouldn't seek after self, after me. It shouldn't be about me. You should not be rude. You shouldn't be abrasive. You know, I remember Dr. Sunday's teaching, and that actually spoke a lot to me, because and you shouldn't be nonchalant. I'm one of those people as well. Like, you know, I'll just go into a room or I'll just do certain things without consideration for other people. So even that, at that low grade, I know that that is not God. Because if I go into a room, I'm not considering other people. I'm not looking around me or even watching out for how I might disturb somebody. These people don't care. Anybody that is telling you to give your, I keep saying this because this is the end of January, that is saying that you should give your first fruit offering, your first salary of this month, knowing that December was such a challenging time, even though it was celebration, but you would have spent a lot, and then you would do without throughout January. And then if you give January salary, you would also do without in February until you get the February salary, which is at the end of February. Then that person is self-seeking for themselves. You know, that means that person is not of God. That means that person is rude to your nature. That means that person doesn't love God, doesn't show love, doesn't express love. So you, at this time, I am saying this again, please don't go and give your first fruit to any church expecting God to do a miracle. It's not the God of the Bible that you're giving it to. You're giving it to the God of their shrine. Is a God of wherever they are talking about. It's not God of the Bible, because he's never self-seeking. It's never about him. It's about you, your well-being. And if you're one of those people that will go and give and you become a burden to society, you become a burden to the people around you, then you also do not have love in you to do that, because you give your own money to go and get God to go and do some errands for you, or your church or your GO or your papa or your daddy to go and do some magic for you to double your money, while you drain other people that month and the months to follow. You know, you're constantly looking for people to do certain things for you. Then you yourself, you need to check yourself, and don't always rely and say, you know, it's these people they're asking. Know the God that you serve. Know the God of love. Know the God of light. Know the God of compassion. You know, not the one that's going to say, take all the money, take all your salary. And Adesola mentioned something as well that I think we really need to take stock of, which is that why is it that there's always something in the Bible that these people are going to use to convince you and contradict what God says? Yes, the Bible is written. There are many people that contributed to the Bible, even though they were inspired by God, to show you different examples. They will show you, they will talk to you about Old Testament and invite you to choose a worse scenario that doesn't benefit you, that benefits them, and then you would abandon a scenario that actually benefits you. Like, for example, we're talking about this, we showed a video about prayer, and somebody talked about the prayer of Jabez, the prayer of Jabez. Okay, but what about the prayer of Jesus? Why would you decide to choose this prayer of Jabez and leave the one of Jesus? Why is it that the prayer of Jabez apply in your life, but the prayer of Jesus did not apply in your life? You know, we need to really stop that as well, because we're always naysayers. We're always looking at the negative side. Choose the glass that is half full, not half empty. It's the same glass, it's the same number of water, it's the same volume of water. But don't choose the one that is always half empty. It's like you're always looking on the, you know, they will tell you, Elijah said this. Who cares what Elijah says? Think about what Jesus says. Look at what Jesus do. Look upon Jesus. Look at his eyes. Don't look at other people that are middlemen, you know, that are really, you know, tentacles to the main thing. You know, you have an opportunity to look at the main thing, but you want to look at the branches rather than the main thing. That's what it seems to me. We're not looking at Jesus. We're looking at everything else around, but not Jesus. And this is what we should look at. Jesus is our greatest example, as Adeshola has said. So guys, let us really, you know, start taking responsibility for ourselves and don't allow these things anymore, especially this month. I am begging everybody that is listening, if you or any church or anybody is telling you to bring first fruits offering, please know God now. if you really believe in God, this is the time you should not pay it, and then see if your life is going to be ruined. If you apply yourself and you do the right thing, you look for the right principles to achieve the things that you need to achieve, you would achieve them. It doesn't matter if you go and give that your salary, and if you don't apply yourself, you're still not going to achieve what you need to achieve. God is not going to perform miracles. It's not a money doubler. It's not 1419. He's not going to do that because he's done everything that we need already. So why does he have to go? Why do you have to go and pay him to do it? There's no way that I am going to pay God that I'm not going to feel a sense of entitlement. And having a sense of entitlement already is already cut you off from being a son. It's already blocking you from being a true child of God. So we need to be aware ourselves. So I'm going to show you another video, and then you also tell me that does this demonstrate God? Does this communicate love? Does this communicate love to you or not? And this is how you tell who they are or who they're not, if they are of God, if they're not of God. So does this communicate God?
She had done many things. One day she took her whole salary. She worked with an oil company. She took her whole salary, brought it to the altar, and gave it to the Lord. Then every month, instead of paying 10% tithe, she began to pay 20%. We don't have time. I know there are those who are telling you not to give your tithe. Don't listen to them. Oh. They won't kill you. You go die quick. Oh. Your tithe is not about you. The Bible said.
Okay, so you see, self-seeking here. Total self-seeking. The whole minute and a half of this video is just self-seeking. Does this say love? They go kill you. This is a pastor, right? He's saying that if you don't pay tithe and you don't give your whole month's salary, and you don't give 20% instead of 10% of the tithe, you give 20%, then you're not going to be blessed by God. Then God is not going to do you good. You know, your life is not going to be as great as this other person that works in this oil company. But it's total lies. This is all fallacy. You know, it's erroneous in every ramification of who God is. You know, Jesus did not come to say you have to give me 20% before I do any miracles for you. He didn't say you have to give me 100% of your salary before you achieve anything in life. They are presenting the wrong God to you. They are representing the wrong Jesus to you. It's not true. They're blocking you from having a true relationship with your Father in heaven, with your Creator. You know, so how is that? Tell me, God, what part of this whole thing communicates God? Which of it communicate love? It doesn't. And if it doesn't communicate God, a love, it is not from God. It does not. There's no communication. I cannot be there and see God in this man. A man that is telling me that the whole month's salary, without even asking or suggesting that let's use sound mind that God is already giving you. How are you going to look after yourself for the whole month? You know, you're a young girl, you don't have children, yes, you're a female. So how are you going to eat? If I take all my salary, how am I going to eat? Let's look at different scenarios. I am a young woman. I don't have children yet. I'm not married. I don't have that much of a responsibility outside of myself unless I choose to. So let's say that I'm the least person that even need the money. So I have my salary. But that month, if I take my whole month's salary, it means that I cannot go to work, because I wouldn't have transportation to go to work if I've taken all the money, because that month's salary is what I have to take to buy my travel ticket or even buy gas in my car. So I wouldn't be able to do that. If anybody needs help around me, despite the fact that I work, right, I will not be able to communicate God to them, because I've already taken that month's salary. I've already taken it and given it to the church. So how am I going to be able to help? You know, how am I going to be ready and be aware and be conscious of my surrounding? Anything can happen maybe a week after I'm paid and somebody needs help. I'm just going to have to turn a blind eye. And that person will know that I work. But how many people am I going to be telling all around and saying that, excuse me, I have to give my month's salary this month to my church because it's my first fruit offering, and not meet their immediate help? Jesus met our immediate help. Every miracle that Jesus performed, he was meeting needs immediately. He wasn't saying wait until next month. So if you've taken my month's salary, how am I going to be able to do that? You have deprived me of showing people love. You have deprived me of being the God or the Jesus that somebody needs. You have deprived me of being a child of God. You have taken responsibility of my around me. You have deprived me of everything that is God, and you have deprived the community as well of knowing God. Because if I don't express God to people because you have taken my resources, my money that month, then you have also deprived the world. You have also deprived yourself. So people are thinking, you know, what church does she go? What God does she serve? That I need help. She has a good job, but she couldn't help me. She didn't have anything. She just said she doesn't have because she had to do this in church. She has to do that. We really need to start waking up. These people are blocking us from knowing God. These people are blocking us from taking our responsibility for in the society, from taking our responsibility for each other, for being a father to each other, from being a mother to each other. And that's the way we should be for showing love. They are blocking us, you know. So it tells you some ridiculous story. Somebody gave a whole month's salary, and then instead of 10% of tithes, give 20% and put it on the altar. The altar that you build, you know, this is not God. This is not God. It is not God to just go and put money on the altar. This is shrine, you know, put it on the altar. These people are totally not God. I am really just asking everybody, please now take responsibility. Know that God loves you. He's giving you everything. Your manufacturer, like most of the brands that we love, like Apple, they do good products, right? You trust them and you pay premium for them. You have already been paid premium for. Your life is already premium. So God, you don't need to keep taking you back and telling you, you know, that God, you didn't do a good job. Please, go and fix me, fix my history, fix my family history. You know, that is not good. You cannot buy your iPhone, buy anything. If you keep having to take it back to the manufacturer, that's it. That manufacturer will lose with you. They will lose, you will lose confidence in them. These people are telling you to go back and take yourself, take your family history, take your life back to God and lose confidence in God. They're blocking you from your relationship with God by telling you to do these things. They're liars. They're not telling the truth. They're deceptive. Do not let anybody continue to deceive you. And please, one of the callers, I think is Adeshola, that said this, right? That you have to separate yourself. There's some people that are so afraid that they think that they have to go to church. If they don't go to church, if they don't attend, that they are backsliding from God, or something is going to happen to them. That is not true. God is in you. You are just taking yourself to an environment. You're taking the God inside of you into the four wall somewhere because somebody said so. But that's not the person you need to listen to. It's the God in you that you need to listen to, not the other person. It's you that you need to listen to. This true relationship with God, you need to know God and listen to God, not the other person. But they've told us so many times because they're repeatedly saying things and we're believing them. Separate yourself, you know. If you trust God and you know that God is in you, then it's time that you start separating yourself. Give the true God of the Bible a chance, not this fraudulent God that these people are presented. This is not the true God. This is not love. This is not demonstrating or communicating love. And you need to now start separating yourself. If you don't separate yourself, you're not going to be able to accept that knowledge and relationship of the true God that you need to. So I did say that I'm going to really try and cut this to 1 hour. I think I've just gone over an hour now. So guys, I appreciate you so much. I'm going to read your comments because your comments also help me to have some understanding and some knowledge, and also to share your own knowledge as well. You know, I learn a lot from your comments. So keep your comments coming. I appreciate you. Thank you very much for joining today. I'm just going to show you some of Dr. Sunday's book that he's written that will benefit you. You know, now start taking responsibility for yourself. Let's all start taking responsibility for ourselves by reading the right, reading the right information, acquainting ourselves with in the right environment with knowledge that will help us to achieve our aim, our purpose on earth, what God has brought us to this earth for. Hold on. So this is what we need to start getting to do now, you know, not wasting our time and then being engaged like children. Well, even children, I think it's an insult to children to say like children, because I don't think any child would even want to participate in this. But like people that don't have God in us, somebody telling us that this is how God is. This is not how God is. God is not like this. God is love. And if this doesn't say love, then it is not God. And here, I don't think that any of this is love as is being presented to us over the last few years. So let me show this as a slide. Okay. All right. So here's some of Dr. Sunday's books. These are the Nigerian books. I hope there are more books. Okay. So this one says, let me see. Okay. All right. So the how Nigerian economy can overcome the American economy. That's the book here. I'll point it to you. Only God can save. This is the first one. Only God can save Nigeria. What a myth. Brilliant book you need to read. It's really about us as individual. Nigeria and the leadership question. Nigerian economy, the way forward. How to make Nigeria the greatest country in the world. So these are books about Nigeria that Dr. Sunday has written. You can get all of Dr. Sunday's books on Okada Books, and you can also get them on Amazon. So you can go on Amazon, and of course you can contact us here at dsasbooks@gmail.com. So dsasbooks@gmail.com. So you will find that we will sell it for you cheaper than Amazon. And there's other books here. Money Won't Make You Rich. No One is Better Than You. Mountain of Ignorance. That's another book. If you're in Nigeria and you want hard copies, you can also go to Chioma. So contact Chioma. Here is a number: +070 6522 8537. I'll repeat that. It's +070 6522 8537. You can contact her. The dialing code for Nigeria is 234. I believe it is 234. So there's another book, Who Am I? Why Am I Here? One of my all-time favorite books. That question on its own is really important for me to know. And with that understanding of that question and knowing who I am, all sorts of atrocities, all sorts of mismanagement or misunderstanding would happen. So this is the first thing I think that everybody should know. Who am I? Why am I here? And then there's another book that here that says, What Do You Do With Your Time? Excellent book. There's another one there. It says, Problem Your Shortcut to Prominence. Great book. Great title. There's another one here. The Danger of Monoculturalism. I think this is much needed, especially at this time, everywhere all over the world, but most importantly with Nigeria and what is happening with the henchmen at the moment, you know, and separation and, you know, all sorts of talks by people. We need to get stock of this and have this understanding the danger of monoculturalism. Guys, at 7 p.m. Ukraine time, which is 5 p.m. UK time, and 6 p.m. Nigeria time, Dr. Sunday will be back, and it's going to be a great one today. You don't want to miss it. He's got a guest that will be talking about the Fulani henchmen and what's happening in Nigeria. So you really don't want to miss this program at 7 p.m. Ukraine time. That's 6 p.m. Nigeria time and 5 p.m. UK time. So join us at that time. And they have another book here, The Law of Difference, another excellent book. Everybody needs to have this because we're all different and we need to know and appreciate each other and understand our differences and how important our differences are in the world. How to Become Great Through Time Conversion, another brilliant book. I cannot wait to read. Chioma's contact there again. Then we have Why You Must Urgently Become a Workaholic, brilliant book. I think we all need this. I definitely need this. A book review was done on where there is problem, there is money. You know, and this person that was doing the review is an avid reader of Dr. Sunday's books, and he loves this. The way he was talking about this book, I would believe that this book will be one of the best sellers soon, and I can't wait to read this. where there is problem, there is money. He also said that if you want to start a business, they must read for you. If you want to start a business, I remember he said many things, but that I actually took hold of, that if you want to start a business, it's a great book for you to read. And there's another book there where it says the creative and innovative power of a genius. So the creative and innovative power of a genius. We are all geniuses because we are all born, okay? And secondly, we can actually create ourselves to be geniuses. So the creative and innovative power of a genius. Excellent book. Okada and Amazon, all of Sunday's book is available on these platforms. And then, okay, I think that's it for the books that I've got here. Okay, I've gone through all these ones already. So, guys, that's me for today. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to find an interesting topic again for us tomorrow, but we are not going to relent, okay? So we're still going to continue on this. We're not going to give up on each other. We're not going to give up on telling the truth. We're not going to give up on love, and we're not going to give up on getting to know God. Every day we will get to know God even more. So guys, I will see you tomorrow. Dr. Sunday will be back in just over an hour and a half. So I'll see you again. And please don't miss Dr. Sunday tonight at 7 and also tonight at 9. So 7 p.m. Ukraine time and 9 p.m. Ukraine time. But the 7 p.m. Ukraine time, which is next, that you don't want to miss, because he has a guest and they will be talking about the Fulani Hensman. And, you know, I don't want to say anything because I don't know what's going to happen. I can't see through the future. But I know that these two people together is going to be a bomb. It's actually Dr. Arams. So let's have it all together. We are going to be back. Thank you very much, Adesola. Thank you very much, all of you. I appreciate you and I love you all for joining me. And even if you don't join me, I still love you and I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. I'll see you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye.